Hey there Facebook, it is Vanessa here again, your motivational speaker, trainer and head coach from Live, Love, Give. And today's message is coming from an amazing human being out there who I had the pleasure of getting to meet just this past week. Alan, if you're listening right now, this message has been inspired by Alan, which was how to actually deal with negative energy or negative people in our lives. And what I wanted to deliver this message to you guys today about is really that, you know, I want to help you to identify how you can actually convert negative energy, the negative energy coming from others, into positive self-growth. And this is something that I think is just like super valuable for each and every one of us out there. It's something that I personally have done in my life and I continue to do. And it's why you guys always hear me talking into the fact that I'm always trying to like track down my fears and follow after them and mine them for the gold that they have. And it's no different when we talk into this concept and idea around converting negative energy into positive self-growth. It's the same thing. So what I want you to think about, like we've all got those people in our lives that maybe like rub us the wrong way, or, you know, we just find that when we're in their presence, we kind of like get triggered, or we just sense that they have this negative energy, or they're always trying to like bring the situation down, or whatever story we kind of make up about this person in our lives. Or maybe it's a new person and it's just this is going to be a great way of thinking about it. Next time you're in the presence of somebody who is in a lot of negative energy, and instead of allowing that energy to bring you down, I want to give you the advice that I had from one of the very first coaches I ever had. And it was so priceless. And this piece of guidance that I got from this coach at this particular time in my life was I had, it was a few years ago, and I had been in a relationship, kind of a newish sort of relationship. And I was finding that this person that I was in relationship with, whenever he was kind of not feeling great within himself, I found that I was really taking on that energy, and it was like I couldn't get out of it. It was like I was really taking on all of his energy, and I felt like it just created negativity, and I wanted to break free of that. And the advice that this coach gave me at the time was was to be a leader in my energy. So instead of following suit in the energy that was presented to me in the external environment or in an external person, instead of like following on from that energy and allowing that energy to be, you know, brought on board personally, and then they're the leader in that energy, you've got to be really intentional about how you want to show up, and your energy has to be of a stronger capacity in order to be the leader of the energy in that environment. And it's not always easy. Like, we can do this and we can be really intentional with those people in our lives that we already know always, you know, put us in this state of negative energy. We take on their negative energy. You know, maybe it's a family member or a friend or a co-worker or some sort of colleague that we have, or some sort of person in our lives that we have to engage with at times. And instead of allowing them to be the leader, we need to get intentional. How is it that I want to show up next time I'm in this same energy again? How am I going to get intentional? How am I going to be a leader in my energy? What am I going to do to shift the energy? And that is a really good way. I don't want any of you guys to be running away from the negative people in our lives. We have to learn to become a leader when we are faced with those kind of people or that kind of energy. And in terms of, yeah, like I've just mentioned, in terms of it's somebody that you know you've got to engage with all the time, then you can be more intentional about how you're going to operate, how you're going to show up and be a leader in this energy, and a positive energy, or whatever energy that you're, you know, inspired by. Step up, be the leader by being intentional and identifying what that looks like, envision it, and then get in alignment with it. Instead of just being reactive the next time it happens, get intentional and design how you want to be showing up next time you're in that environment, how you're going to shift the conversation, how you're going to bring your strength and your energy and not let their negative energy bring you down, or you become the follower of that negative energy. Instead, you're going to be that leader. And in terms of when it's not somebody that we know, or we know that we're going to be in contact with this negative energy, it's just a random negative energy that we're faced with. Maybe we're at a party and we're in an environment where we are, you know, talking to somebody who's got this negative energy, or whoever it is. Instead of avoiding it, like a lot of people would just be like, ugh, can't handle this person, I'm out, and avoid that person, like think they're negative, can't be around it. I don't want you to be like that, because we want to be leaders in our life and we want to inspire the best out of others. And we're not always going to be able to do that. We're not always going to be able to, you know, lead by example and inspire another to step forth into a more positive energy or way of being. But when we can show up in a way that we're proud of, at least we brought that opportunity, and at least we can feel good about how we're operating. And so instead of running away from the negative people in our lives, it's actually about converting the energy and allowing it to shine light on where we're being kind of weak in our ability to show up in a state, in a confident state, in a strong, centered, loving state. And actually, okay, this triggered me. What can I learn here? How can I grow myself? What is this shining light on for myself? But also, how am I going to convert this kind of energy and make it more positive, more empowering? You know, that is the journey that we're on. So utilize every single event, circumstance, and person that triggers you in any uncomfortable way. Utilize it, you know, utilize it for your own personal growth, either to build self-awareness around the areas that you kind of need to focus on. Like me in that example that I shared with you, I was following suit in other people's emotions rather than being a leader in my own energy. That was the work that I had to go on the journey of. Or, you know, how are you just going to convert it and use it as an opportunity to be a leader in your energy and help to inspire the best out of others? So, you know, everything is energy, and you've got the ability to convert it. Don't run away from it. Utilize it for your own personal growth, so that the next time you're faced with a challenging person, a negative person in your life, you, instead of running away and avoiding and having a judgment or a story go on about that person, you can actually not only feel strong and centered in your ability to convert the energy into something empowering and positive, but also you might get to the point of actually inspiring the best out of another and showing them another possibility and of state of being, and get them out of their negative mindset. Because we need to remember that whenever we're in that negative energy, it's because we're in fear. And when you can step forth from a place of love, centeredness, and strength and non-judgment, that inspires the best out of others and can help shift them out of fear into love. So judgment always creates more judgment, more fear. Drop the judgment, be strong and centered within yourself. Utilize it as an opportunity to obviously be a leader for yourself, but ideally inspire the best out of another. And I really hope that today's message is resonating with you guys out there. I'd absolutely love to hear from you, like I always say, so make sure that you are dropping any questions or comments or feedback for me below. Any experiences you've had in terms of these negative people in your life, how have you, converted that energy? How have you utilized the power of the opportunity with these negative people in our lives to convert it into something empowering, to shine light on an area that you need to grow, and ultimately become a leader of love and in your energy, and ideally inspire the best out of another without creating your judgmental story about why they're so negative, and instead just be a leader and give them an opportunity to come and meet you in a more empowering energy as well. So I want to check in with you guys, and before I do, if you haven't already, what are you doing? You've got to come on over and join the Limitless Potential Inner Circle Facebook community. Click on the link above if you want to get to the next level of your limitless potential, and you want to be surrounded by incredible like minds who are on that same journey, and where you can build amazing connections, friendships, and go really deep with people rather than getting caught up in the surface level ways of living in our friendships, in our lives. Go deep and focus on the stuff that really matters, and get the challenge and the support that you really need to get to that next level. Make sure you come and join us, and let me check in with you guys. So I've got Adrian and Aaron and Hassani and Stephen and Eddie's here and Judy and Peter and SP and Nikki and Hassani. I'm loving that you're loving the necklace. Thank you so much. And Eric is here and Eddie. I have negative energy from... Oh, okay. Awesome. Well, hope you're looking after your health a bit better there. Eddie and Eric's here. Thanks for being here. And Haji and Julius and Caroline and Sabit and Giacomo and Daniel and Jolanta and Anyetta's here. Awesome. And Juanjo and Alexandria and Jeannie and Doris and Rajiv and Rashed and Hector and Nicholas. I'm loving that you're loving today's message. And Leland and here's Anyetta. Positive energy, I have learned, is the best way to move forward with any situations. I have found when I have felt negative, my decisions have not been sought out properly, but in any circumstance now, I just breathe, relax, and try and feel positive to make the most out of the situation I'm in. I absolutely love hearing that, Anyetta. You know, when we can create space between the thing in the external that could potentially trigger us or is triggering us and our response or reaction to it, when we can create space, like you're saying, Anyetta, by breathing, taking a deep breath, you know, maybe we need a time out to get back to a loving centered place so that we can make a better decision. And that is emotional intelligence. My definition of emotional intelligence is being able to make a situation better rather than worse based on our response to it. And sometimes we just need to create a little bit of space between the thing that's triggering us and our response in order to have that emotional intelligence. So I love that, and thanks so much for sharing your experience here, Anyetta. You're appreciated. And Thomas is here, and Carolyn. I've been struggling with this. Every time I'm near this family member, I feel like the energy shifts and they are being me and I'm being them, and it's just such a weird thing, but it's only by this certain family member and I don't know how to address it or be strong enough to take my energy back. Awesome, Caroline. So what I would suggest to you is to do the work prior to being in that environment with this person who triggers you. Do the work prior to being in connection again. So what I would say to you is I would get really clear, write down this person, have a journal about this, and ask yourself, what is it about this person or the way that they show up that throws me off guard, that makes me feel uneasy, that really triggers me into this way of being that I'm maybe not proud of, or it just doesn't feel like me. And I would identify what are the traits within them that are triggering you. What are you making it mean? Is there past history with this person that you've created a story around? And I definitely get you to question, what are you thinking and believing about this person that makes you feel the way that you do? And definitely, if you'd like any personal support with that, Caroline, or you want to go a bit deeper, either post in the group with the Limitless Potential Inner Circle Facebook community and get some more perspective over this. And also, I do open up those 15-minute power sessions for anybody who wants my personal guidance. I would love to help you out with that, Caroline. So make sure you book in a session if that's of interest to you. And I hope that my comments there were supportive to you. And thanks so much for sharing your experience and being here, Caroline. And Jay's here, and Steve and Suzanne and Adrian. It's more about getting the negative energy out of me rather than others. So there's definitely these processes that we can go through in order to get it all out in our own sort of space. That's why a few weeks ago I did a Facebook Live on the release letter technique. I would really encourage you to give that a go. It's a process of feeling through. Scientifically, it's proven that we feel through emotions in certain stages. And so the release letter technique, which I will link up for you guys, for anybody that's interested after this video stops recording, I will have a link up above which will link you to the Facebook Live that I did a training on the release letter technique. For any of you guys out there who struggle with your own negative energy and you want to get a handle on that, then this is the best tool ever to get that done. So I will link that up, and I so appreciate you sharing your experience here, Adrian, and Sabri's here, and Vince and Marco and Karan and Bradley and Jolene. And Aaron, can you recommend a book on negative and positive energies? Good question, negative and positive energies. Well, you see, I look at negative and positive energies as negative being kind of fear and positive being love. And you guys, I think I say it like practically every Facebook Live. I can't stress enough the value of the book Lovability by Robert Holden. It really does talk into love versus fear. And when we can get a handle on that, that's what I really think about in terms of referring to positive or negative energies, is really just love versus fear. And I think that that is a brilliant book for a foundational piece in terms of relationship with self and with others, and operating more from those positive energies or those loving energies. Definitely that would be my recommendation to you. And I so appreciate your question, Aaron. And thanks so much for your kind words, Adrian. And hi to you, Rashad. And Eric, wonderful, Vanessa. 1,000 thanks for your words. Always helpful. Grateful that this message has met you just as you need it, Eric. And you are so appreciated, like I mention every single day. Thanks so much for showing up and being here. And loving that you're loving some positive vibes here, Jay. And Hasani, I definitely needed this today. Sometimes it's not another person, but just a bad habit of looking at life in a disempowering way. This has inspired me to take a deeper look at how I want to show up and be more intentional about making that happen. Thank you so much, Fee. You are so welcome, Hasani, and you absolutely light me up every day with your commitment to your growth and how you find value in each of these messages. So that totally touches my heart, and I so appreciate you, Has. And I would love to hear how you go with that journey. And I love that you're going to be more intentional. You know, that is what life is about. When we can get intentional, when we can know what we want and we get intentional about making it happen, we feel, you know, centered, we feel strong, and we feel empowered in our lives. So I love that, Huss. Thanks so much for sharing. And Naeem's here, and Adrian, and Kim, and Kwas, and Eddie, and Gabrielle and Charlie, thanks for the kind words there. And Zaza, I need some energy. Yes, absolutely, we all do. And Eduardo and Steve, and hi to you, Gabrielle, love having you here. And Kim, I need to renew my energy level. Absolutely, absolutely. And Sergio and Eddie, you're a negative energy. Okay, Carolina's here, and Moro, and Jamie, and Eddie, and Gabrielle. I'm loving that you're loving this. And Jeremy's here, and Greg's here, and Eddie, and Christos, and Eric, and oh my gosh, there's so many of you guys here today. Make sure you're dropping any questions. I'd love to hear from you. And Moro, and Audrey, and Morio, Rashad, Vanessa. Please, Vanessa, linked up. Yes, I will link that up. And Vivek, I used to watch your videos. It's really nice and helpful. Thanks for sharing this type. You're so welcome, Vivek. I'm so grateful that you're finding value here. And Richard's here, and Jared's here, and Vivek. And yes, one more thing that, thank you so much for your kind words there. And Andy's here. And Nicholas, never give negative people the power to control your mood. Stay in control. Absolutely. And when you can see it as their negative energy and recognize that everything another person says or does is either an expression of love or a call for love. So they're either coming from a place of love or they're coming from a place of fear, and that's a call for love. So show up with your strength, with your centeredness. Don't let their fear trigger your fears. And if it does trigger your fears, then utilize it for your own personal growth to shine light on where you are needing to do a little bit of work because you're getting triggered, and ultimately for the purposes of being a leader in your energy and for your own personal development and growth. And Linda's here, and Don and Adrian, loving that you got so much out of today's message, and great to see all of you guys who have just joined me. I hope that you catch the recording, get a ton of value from today's message. I really hope that this message is really helping you to recognize how you want to deal with either the negative people you already have in your life and you've been kind of thrown by their energy, or you'll be more intentional about that and how you want to show up. Or, next time you have that negative person come into your life, which we always do, then then instead of like avoiding them and making a judgment call on them, utilize it for your own personal growth and step up, be a leader in your energy, and test how strong you are becoming and how centered you are within yourself. And that is it from me today, guys. I'm sending you all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you to wherever you are in the world today. I hope it's extraordinary, and I'm sending you all of my love, and I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow. So much, much love to you.